Hi, my loves. Welcome back. There's a message that's been sitting with me, and I knew I had to bring it forward today. So, if this video found you, I really don't think it's a coincidence. Maybe this is the sign that you've been praying for. This is a collective reading, so not every word will land for everyone, and that's okay. Make sure that you always trust your intuition, take what resonates, and leave anything that doesn't. You know yourself best. And if something in this reading stirs something in you and you want to go deeper into your own situation, I offer private readings through my Etsy shop. You'll find the link in the pinned comment and in the video description below. Okay, loves, let's see what Spirit has for you. The first card Spirit gave you is Show the World the Real You, Full Moon in Aquarius. Adjustments are required, third quarter moon. Be bold and make the first move, Cardinal Moon. Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Work through your fears, New Moon in Scorpio. And you are good enough, Full Moon in Virgo. As I sit with these 6 cards, the very first thing I feel is Spirit looking at someone who's been through enough to justify every single wall they have ever built around themselves. And I want to say that before anything else. The armor made sense. Whatever you went through, whatever taught you that being open was dangerous, whatever made you decide that guarded was safer than vulnerable, that experience was real. And the protection you built around yourself in response to it was a completely human thing to do. But Spirit is here today to ask you something gently. Is the armor still protecting you? Or has it become the thing that keeps everything out? Show the World the Real You arrives first, and what's coming through with this card is so tender. You've been in your head for a really long time, love. You've been analyzing, predicting, bracing, and managing. And somewhere in all of that managing, you drifted away from your heart, from the version of you that feels things fully, that lets people in, that shows up unguarded and real. And Spirit is saying that that version of you is still in there, unchanged and waiting. Your unique qualities, all of those things that make you distinctly, irreplaceably you, those are not liabilities to be protected. They're the very things that are worth showing. Then adjustments are required comes in, and this one is honest in a way that feels like a breath of fresh air. Something has been filling you with negativity. Maybe it's a situation that's been draining you for longer than you want to admit. Maybe it's the constant vigilance of living braced for impact. Maybe it's the stories that you've been telling yourself about why you have to stay protected. Love, whatever it is, Spirit is saying that it needs to go. Not because you're weak for having absorbed it, but because you've been carrying it long enough. The changes that are needed aren't punishment. They're the requirement for getting you to where you actually want to be. Be bold and make the first move steps in next. And what I'm feeling here is a very direct message. You've been passive, not because you don't care, but because you've been waiting, waiting for it to be safe enough, for a guarantee before you let yourself be seen or vulnerable or open again. And Spirit is saying that the waiting has gone on long enough. Stop watching the situation from behind the glass and step into it. Be assertive in your own life. Take up space. Make the move. Because the armor has been convincing you that passivity is protection, and Spirit is here to tell you that that's not true. Step out of your comfort zone arrives next, and I feel this one immediately. The comfort zone that you've been living in isn't actually comfortable anymore, is it? It's just familiar. And familiar started to feel like safety a long time ago, so you stopped questioning it. But what Spirit is showing me is that the life that you actually want, the openness, the connection, and the joy, all of it lives just outside of the boundary of where you've been allowing yourself to exist. That thing that scares you the most about letting the armor down, well, Spirit is asking you to face it, not because it isn't scary, but because you're already headed in the right direction, whether you feel it or not. Work through your fear comes in next, and the energy here is the deepest of the whole first set, because this card isn't just about surface level fear, it's about the underneath fear, the one that the armor was built to protect. The fear that if people really see you, unguarded and real and imperfect, they'll leave. Or worse, they'll confirm the thing that you've been most afraid of is true about yourself. And Spirit is showing me something so beautiful here. You are a phoenix, love. You have already been through the kind of dark that most people don't talk about. You've already survived the thing that broke you open. And what came out of that breaking wasn't someone who was ruined, it was someone remade. And there's a start ahead of you that you haven't even let yourself see yet because you're still living inside the story of what burned. And then You Are Good Enough closes this first message. And love, this is the one. This is the card that names what the armor was always really about. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop being overcritical of everything you do and don't do, and everything you should have done differently. Stop quietly underrating yourself, and then wonder why people take you at the value that you've decided to assign for yourself. Because you are good enough. Not someday, not once you've healed more. You are good enough right now, exactly as you are, tired and rebuilding and still figuring it all out. You are good enough. And that truth is what the armor has been trying to protect from being disproven. But Spirit is saying that this was never up for debate. But there was more, and what came through next felt like the sky opening up. You were given, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. And finally, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. As I sat with that first message, the energy shifted completely, from naming the armor to showing what was on the other side of it. And loves, what Spirit laid out here is stunning. It's time to release negativity arrives first, and what I'm feeling is so clear. The armor itself has been the source of the negativity, because when you're constantly braced, guarded, and waiting for that next hit, your nervous system is living in a state that creates and attracts more of what you're protecting against. Spirit isn't asking you to be naive, it's asking you to stop feeding the fear, to move away from anyone or anything that's been toxic to your peace, to stop worrying yourself into exhaustion about things that haven't even happened yet. It's time. Let it go. Then You and your loved ones are safe comes in, and I had to just stop and breathe for a second with this one, because this is what the armor was always trying to create: safety, certainty, and the guarantee that nothing else was going to go wrong. And Spirit is stepping in right now and saying that you are safe. The people that you love are safe. The thing that you've been guarding against has already passed. Love, you don't have to keep the drawbridge up anymore. It's safe to come out now. Luck is on your side arrives next, and the energy just lifts. What I'm feeling is that the fortune that you've been wondering if you'll ever feel again is already moving towards you. The blessings are already there. You just have to stop looking through the lens of everything you're afraid of losing and start counting what's already showing up. Sagittarius energy is expansive and optimistic, and it's flowing through this card with such warmth. Right now, Spirit is saying that the wheel is turning in your favor. Expect good things, because expecting them is part of what invites them in. It's time to take action steps in, and this one feels like the universe is literally lighting a match under you. The flame is lit, love. Whatever it is that you've been waiting to feel ready enough to start, to pursue, ready enough to let yourself have, this is a big yes from the universe. You're already on the right track. You might be feeling like you have a long way to go, but the fire of this energy is driving you towards it, whether you feel ready for it or not. So stop waiting to feel ready. Take that first step and just start. Conclusions are within reach comes in next, and what I'm feeling is such relief. Something that's felt unresolved, that you've been carrying that doesn't have a clean ending yet. Something that's been keeping part of you stuck in the middle. Well, Spirit is showing me that it's almost done. The conclusion is coming, not someday, but soon. And it's closer than it feels from where you're standing right now. And then the end of a tough cycle approaches, closes this entire reading. And love, I felt this card before I even turned it over. The hard part is almost over, not in a dismissive way or in a just think positive way, but in the way of the moon completing her cycle and rising new and clean and full of possibility again. What I'm feeling with this card is that you have been in a genuinely difficult chapter, one that required the armor, that made being guarded make complete sense, and Spirit isn't minimizing any of that. But this chapter is closing, and the cycle that has been heavy and long and exhausting is finally ending. And what comes next, what Spirit is already preparing you for on the other side of that armor, on the other side of the cycle that you've been stuck in, is that you get to be soft again, and it's all going to be okay. Sit with that for a second, love. So here's what Spirit wants you to carry with you today. The armor you put on made sense. You built it for a reason, and that reason is valid. But you've been carrying it so long that it started to feel like your skin, and it isn't. It's something you put on, which means it's something that you can also take off. You are good enough to be seen without it. You are safe enough to come out from behind it. The negativity it's been feeding is ready to be released, and the cycle that made it necessary is coming to an end. And on the other side of laying it down is luck, safety, action, resolution, and a new beginning that's been waiting patiently for you to finally feel ready to receive it. You don't need the armor anymore, love. You never needed it as long as you thought you did. As always, my loves, this was a collective reading, so honor what resonated and gently leave what didn't. Only you know what's meant for you. If something in this reading resonated and you want to go deeper into your own situation, I'm here for you. Private readings are available through my Etsy shop, and you'll find the link in the pinned comment below and in the video description. And loves, I want to hear from you. Has life taught you to keep your guard up? Is there a wall that you've been living behind for so long that you forgot you built it? Tell me in the comments. You don't have to share everything, but just naming it is the first step to setting it down. I genuinely read every single comment, and honestly, connecting with you there is one of my favorite parts of doing these videos. And before I go, if you found this video today and you've been living behind that armor for longer than you remember, just know that the world on the other side of it is still there, and it's worth stepping into. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll meet you in the comments.